Hello, my name is Doris, and I am Little Bird Products. Thank you for coming back if you've been here before. And if you're new here, thank you for joining me. Today is going to be a little bit different. I need some help. So grab your pencil and paper. I'll give you a few minutes to go and get it because I have some questions of you. It's kind of a little survey, but I'm going to show you examples along the way of what I'm asking you. I'm still in Bloomin' Bloomerland, and you'll find out I really love making bloomers. And there's a lot of different options to making bloomers, and I've been making some slip dresses too. But I have some questions because I put two sets of bloomers and slip dresses in my Etsy store, and I've made several more. This is a bloomer outfit that I've had for a while, and I'll show me dancing in it at the end. Every time I make bloomers in one of these sets, I do some things that are a little different. And I sold quite a few a couple of years ago, and I see that Anthropologie is at least my daughter told me, that they're starting to bring more bloomer-like pants back in this season. And I thought, well, why not make a few more? Plus, one of my Refashion Rebel peeps, she's been making them. She makes hers a little different, but they're very cute on her. And I've been wearing my bloomers again, and I really like them. They're so comfortable, and you can wear them all year round. And I think it's the comfort and the airiness of them I like. And you can make them out of any material. I've been making mine out of some pillowcases, quite frankly, because it's just easier to make them. But I am going to start getting into some of my high quality cotton material, and I have a couple of pieces of linen that are really nice that I want to make a couple of sets out of. So I really need your feedback. Hopefully you have your pen and pencil now. I'm going to start with the easy question. When I make my tops or my tunics or my dresses to go with the bloomers, because I do like making things in sets, I will make a few bloomers that are just standalone, but have them all embellished, and you can wear them with any kind of a top. But getting back to the tunics or dresses, which do you prefer, a tunic or a dress? Now, you might say, okay, what's the difference? Well, a tunic is like this. It's a little shorter. It might be, 28 inches. I like everything that covers my tummy in the front, to 28 to 30, a little over 30 inches in the back. But it wouldn't be much longer than that. It's just long enough to cover your little hind end, or big hind end in my case. Or to be a dress, it usually is at least 28 inches long in the front if I'm making it high-low, or 30 inches. And in the back, I like to have it come down at least to your knees. So if you say, I like a tunic, not a dress, well, then you can skip over the dresses. But if you really like a dress, what length do you like it? Do you like it knee length? Do you like it ankle length? That's right above your ankle bone. Or do you like it longer? Some people like them so that they can wear heels or a high wedgie, something with it. So they like them longer than ankle length. So if you could let me know if you like a dress, what's your favorite length of a dress? I have made some maxi dresses. I haven't really sold any of those yet, but they're t-shirt dresses right now. What I've been making those out of a t-shirt. I'm not going to get into the materials with you. But for a dress, if you were going to buy a dress, what would you look for? That would really help me if you can put that in the comments. Now, write that on your paper first, though, because I have another question for you. When it comes to the bloomers, first of all, would you buy a pair of bloomers? Would you wear the bloomers? If you wouldn't, you can skip over these questions because the rest of them are going to be all about bloomers. But even if you haven't worn bloomers before, but you think you'd like to try them, these questions would apply. When it comes to bloomers, there's a couple of things. There's actually three main things that I think about. The first one is, and this is the easiest one to answer, I do the waist a couple of different ways. I do the waist like this, where I have elastic tie, a thin elastic tie, and it makes it any size, fits almost everybody. And you can be really small and wear these. You can be down to maybe a medium, and you can go up to a 3X with these, with this thin elastic tie. And what you do is you can pull it tight, wear it like that, and you can still get it up and down off of your hips because that elastic stretches, and it's thin, so there's not much, a lot of people are that tactile thing of having something around their waist they don't like very well. They don't like the cotton or the string. So these are very stretchy, thin elastic. And what I do is I tie mine in a knot in the front, then I tie it in a bow, and then I tie the bow again. And then I just leave it like that. So that's number one. Do you like thin elastic? Or, this is another easy one. Do you like just a ribbon tie? And I have made them like that. So I use about 1.5 inch grosgrain ribbon because it's a little sturdier than satin ribbon. And you just pull it through and pull it in the front and put a nice little bow. And it's cute because you have the bow. And some people, they like to wear their bloomers and they do that little half tuck in the front and show, the tie. And that's pretty easy to untie, tie again, and get back up. It doesn't have stretch to it, so every time you take your bloomers on and off, you do have to untie the ribbon. So that's number two. Would you like a ribbon tie as opposed to skinny elastic? Now, a lot of bloomers are made like this, where it's a little wider elastic, like 1 inch or 1.5 inches, and that makes a wider waistband, but it's elastic all the way around. So, it's just like a pair of pull-on pants. And these are made that way. And I have some of each. And then the last option is this one, which is really cute, and it's kind of a hybrid. So what I do is I have a piece of elastic that is about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. It's a little sturdier elastic, and I make it long enough to go from side to side in the back, and then I attach ribbon pieces to it. So the ribbon's what pulls through in the front. So it looks like you have a ribbon tie, but you have the benefit of that stretch and elastic in the back. So when you tie the ribbon in the front, you can leave it tied because that stretchy elastic in the back is enough to get it up and down over your hips. So that's the most versatile of all. So let's see, that's 4 options. You have skinny elastic, okay? You have all ribbon or cotton, but I use ribbon. Okay, so that one has no stretch. You have the one that's all stretch, that's elastic all the way around. And then you have the hybrid, which is ribbon and elastic. Okay, so that's 4 choices. So tell me what your choice is. Write it down so you can, or you can do multiple comments, but it's easier if you just write it down. So that's your waist. And then the 6th question is just a yes or no question, or a must-have. Yes, no, must-have. In your bloomers, do you like to have pockets? These that you'll see me dancing in the end, I have 2 pockets, but I only put pockets in them because I didn't put pockets in the top. Normally what I do is I like my pockets in the top because I say I don't need to have anything else resting on my hips. But if I'm making a set to go together and I'm not going to put pockets in the top, I will put them in the pants. And I have one set that I'm working on with my what's called a Tina Givens feather top. You'll see that on Sunday. It has many ruffles, too many ruffles to put pockets in the top. So I'm going to put pockets in the pants that go with it. So back to that question, in case you've forgotten it from all of my yathering. Pockets in pants. Yes, no, always. Okay, there you go. 3rd question. Now, for the 4th and last question, and this is the one that's most complicated and probably is the one that I really need the answer to. Well, I really need the answer to all of these, but I need the answer to this one because it does determine the style of the bloomers. And one of the things with the bloomers is the bottom of the leg. What's important for you for the finishing on the bottom of the leg? And I have quite a few styles. I have this one, which is really cute. It's a little shorter bloomer, and it has just a piece of lace at the bottom. It doesn't have any ruffle, anything. It's pretty much a plain leg, but it's really cute, and I like it. Okay, got to make sure that I get these checked right. And then the next one is, do you like ruffles on the bottom? Yes or no? Right? And if the answer is no, then that other one with just a piece of lace on the bottom is one of 2 treatments we can do. Let's assume you say no. You can have just a piece of lace at the bottom. You can have it just a plain bloomer at the bottom. All right? Or you can have it like this. And this has a little treatment at the bottom that makes the bottom of the leg a little more, I'm going to call it lantern shape, so because it comes in a little bit, it makes it just a little skinnier. And I put a band around it. And these red pants, these red dotted bloomers that I wear, and I like them, are like that. They're another Tina Givens pattern, and it just has a band, a waistband. And then I have a few other little treatments I do. Sometimes I put a tiny ruffled piece, but the basic thing is that it's a lantern shape where it comes in closer to the bottom. So do you like that? Or do you like more plain? Now, an offshoot of that, if you don't like ruffles, you have these choices, right? You have the bottom band, right? You can have nothing, just plain. Or what you can have is you can have elastic at the bottom. And I have done some of mine. Actually, I've taken some, upcycled some of my dungarees, and at the bottom they had more of a bloomer kind leg. I put elastic in the bottom because I am tripping all over those things when I sit down. That's why I don't like dresses. It's because I'm always running my chair over it and everything because I sit a lot sewing. So I put elastic around the bottom of those. And I like elastic around the bottom of bloomers. They're easy to get in and out of, and then it makes it closer to your leg at the bottom. So do you like that kind of treatment? And you might want to just jot these down, right? And I'll try to run through them one more time on your paper to say, oh, that was kind of cute. Okay, I kind of like that. So that's the elastic bottom. But basically it would be like if I took these red polka dot pants and took that band off and put a piece of elastic there. So that's more what that's like. Now, let's go back to the ruffles. If you like ruffles on your pants, right? Do you like them like these in my little dancey video? You have to wait till you get to the end. Where it's a single ruffle, around the bottom. The leg comes in a little bit, but it has a single ruffle. Nice wide ruffle. Or do you like multiple ruffles? And I'll show you a picture here of a pair that I really like these. They're mine too. And I have 2 layers of ruffles. I have an eyelet lace ruffle underneath just peeking out, and then I have a large ruffle on top. So ruffles, no ruffles. If you like ruffles, do you want multiple ruffles? 2 plus ruffles. And do you mind, or do you really like, 2, 3, 4 more ruffles? The more ruffles, the better. I like ruffles all the way up my leg. So it's like lots of ruffles. Do you like lots of ruffles? Okay, so I think I've been through that. It's ruffles, no ruffles. If it's no ruffles, is it elastic or just gathered? Now, one of the other treatments that I can do, and I'm thinking about, I haven't done this yet, but I'm thinking about doing it, is doing the elastic, but coming up a little bit on the leg, and then let that bottom piece of fabric, above the elastic, let that ruffle out a little bit. So it's not an additional ruffle, it's just putting elastic on there. And that solves my problem with running over my pants legs, because you can pull the elastic a little further up your leg if you're sitting, and then just leave that ruffled piece. It still keeps the pants longer than they would be if you just had elastic at the bottom. So I'm kind of looking, well, I really am looking for some feedback on all those topics from you. And I certainly appreciate it. If you wouldn't wear bloomers at all, I would ask you to consider getting a pair of bloomers, maybe slimmer bloomers. Some of mine are slimmer, well, depending on the size that you are, or oversized, because they are very comfortable and they are coming back in style. If you look at Anthropologie and some of the pants that they're selling now, some of them, they don't call them bloomers, but they really look like bloomers to me. They're shorter and fuller, and they're more like, some are like balloon legged, and what's that other term? Oh, I want to call it cowboy leg, but it's not. It's the ones that, help me here. Oh, you can't help me. There is no help for me. It's the barrel pants. There you go. See, I knew it would come to me sooner or later. Usually it's later. The barrel pants are kind of like that. They're bloomer-like. So that, I really would appreciate your feedback, because I am going to continue through this week to make the bloomers, and maybe a few into next week, because then I need to get back making some more. I'm thinking about making some patchwork pants, like patchwork bloomers out of t-shirt pieces. So it's kind of a toss-up. Depends on how hot it is here next week. I'll do the patchwork, because that's okay for me to make in the heat. And if not, I want to go back and make a few more duster coats out of my jackets because I have some beautiful jackets. And I do have some that are more summer, spring colors, lighter colored. And I thought I'd make a few more of those. And I have some other beautiful jackets with lots of applique and bling and some embroidery on them. And I thought I would pull out some of the fanciest ones and try to get those made. Of course, then I do have some pieces of chenille, and if I get into the patchwork stuff, I might like to patchwork some chenille and make a couple more chenille shrugs. Just time and time again. What I may do is come back next week and ask you, once I'm done with the bloomers, once those are finished and I move on, what should I move on to? So put that in the back of your head for next week's question. But for this week, I do need some feedback on bloomers, and I certainly would appreciate it. Thank you, and enjoy my little dancing at the end. I have a couple of little videos of me in some of these bloomer outfits. I'm just going to stick them in the end in case you haven't seen them before. And be sure to tune in on Sunday, and you'll see what the results of the survey have been and what I'm going to move on to. Thank you.